How's it going, everybody? Today I want to go over a really awesome note taking program called Obsidian. Now, Obsidian is a really powerful note taking program that's available on Mac, Linux, PC, and iOS or Apple devices, in which you can take really quick notes, organize those notes, link those notes together, as well as make a flow chart or a mind map that will help you correlate some of these ideas together and come up with conclusions that you never would have thought of before. It's also a really great place to keep track of different projects and have it act as like a second brain for yourself. So let's get right into Obsidian. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is head to obsidian.md. That's the website in which Obsidian is on, and that you can get it. Now, if you're on a Apple device or Android device, you can just go right to the Android store or Apple store and download Obsidian right from there. If you're on a Mac or PC or Linux desktop, you just go right to the website and you can download it right from the big button right on the website. So what we're going to do is download Obsidian. Now, after Obsidian's done downloading, we're going to want to install it. Now, once Obsidian's installed, this is going to be the first window that opens up, uh, whether you're on a PC, Linux, Mac, or even on your phone. This is going to be the first screen that pops up. And as a new Obsidian user, you're not going to already have a folder with existing Markdown files in it. So you're just going to want to choose Create New Vault. So we're going to go ahead and create a new vault. And we'll name it Cultivation Knowledge Base. And then right here is going to ask you to choose a location in which you want to put all the different notes. Now, this is where all your notes are going to be put. All the different pictures that you drag and drop into Obsidian are going to live in this location. Any file or note is going to live in this location. So we're going to go ahead and choose a new location, and we're just going to go ahead and put it on the C drive under users, and we'll put it under GG. We'll go ahead and go in here and create a new folder and call it Cultivation Knowledge Base. And we'll go ahead and select that folder and hit create. Now, it's going to ask you if you want to turn on live preview or not. I feel like the live preview kind of gets in the way sometimes. And you can always turn this on and off at any point in time. But I feel like it gets in the way until you want to be able to see the preview. So I'm going to say not now. Now we have Obsidian opened up and set up. We can go ahead and maximize that. And now we have a blank canvas on Obsidian here. In the upper left-hand corner here, we have a button that's called New Note. And then we also have a button that's called New Folder. So therefore, we can organize all of our notes into different folders and create new notes with these two buttons over here. So for instance, if we wanted to create a folder called Veg Area, we could do that. And then inside of Veg Area, if we right click or long press on that, we can add a new note specifically to that folder. And we can go and say in the Veg Area, we want to, top dress. And we can list out our top dress amendments. And then you can also put down the date in which you did the top dressing. Let's say you did it on the 10th of January. You can also create a new note in here, and this can be like all the different strains that you have. and you can list out your different strains. You can drag and drop pictures into here. If we go ahead and open up another tab here and just go to Google real quick. Now, if we go to Google and search, VPD chart and go to images, and we can choose the one that we like the best. We can go with the Pulse Grow VPD chart that has both Fahrenheit and Celsius. And what you can do is you can click and drag it right down to Obsidian and drop it right in here. And this will drop the photo right into the note in which you dragged it into. Now, as you can see, you can't see that photo right now, but if we go up in the upper right hand corner here, you can see a little eyeglasses symbol, and this will make it to where you can see the live preview, in which we didn't want to see at first. So if we click that, you'll be able to see that pulse chart as integrated into the note, and you can use it to check on your VPD. You can write underneath that note different notes, like my VPD was off by 1 point on January 10th, 2022. And now if we hit that preview button again, you can see we got the chart, and you'll also have the little note right below it saying that my VPD was off by 1 point on January 10th, 2022. This is how you can add any picture to Obsidian, as well as if you have a picture on your phone and or hard drive, you can literally just add a picture that way as well by dragging and dropping it into there. Another great feature of Obsidian is that you can create tasks, and to create those tasks, you just press dash, and then you make a space, you do a bracket and a space. As you can see, it did a little reformatting, and that was telling Obsidian that we wanted to make a task. So we can say something like, hey, we want to take clones on the 10th of January. After you wrote down your task, when you press enter, it'll create another task right away, and you can just keep creating tasks. So we can go plant clones, a week later or 2 weeks later. So, 1/20/2022. And you can just keep creating tasks over and over. And then if you go over and click that eyeglass symbol, you'll see that it's creating a task in which you can click and cross off when you do get it done. And it helps you keep track of different tasks that you have in different areas. So for instance, we created the veg area first off. We can go in and create a bloom area. And then you can also create a propagation area. And then you can create like a mother area. And now you have a good spot to take all your notes and organize them in one spot and be able to go back to them and refer to them when you either find an issue may happen, or you want to go and see like, oh, this harvest was really a great harvest. What happened? What did I do different this time? It's a really great way just to keep all the information collated into one space. Now, these are the basic features on how to run Obsidian. There's another really great feature of Obsidian that I want to go over. It's probably going to be its own video though, and it's called Obsidian plugins, and there's a lot of different plugins from the community in which it's very useful. And the main one I like to use is one that allows you to draw different mind maps and flow charts right within Obsidian, and that's a really great way to throw down a bunch of information on a note and then organize it after the fact. Um, the other two features that we're going to go over before this video is over is you can link these notes together. And once you link these notes together with tags and backlinks, the graph mode works. And you can open the graph view over here. And as you can see, we only have a few things because we've only created a few notes and they're not linked together. So there's no lines linking these two notes together. But as you fill out your knowledge database and tag and link these together, you'll start seeing correlations between information that you never thought was connected to before. So in order to start doing that and making sure that we're linking all these notes together, let's go over how to actually link a note. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new folder, and we're going to call this folder the Soil Food Web. Now in the Soil Food Web, we're going to create a new note called the Soil Food Web. Now, excuse me, under the Soil Food Web note, we can go back to the internet here and we'll just type in Soil Food Web. This comes right from the USDA.gov. We can just drag, put that right into Obsidian. Oh, let's not do it that way. We'll actually click on the photo first and then drag it into Obsidian. There we go. Now you can see we have the Soil Food Web image right in the Soil Food Web note. And we can go down here and write some notes about the food web. Right? And you can have a bunch of notes. And then at the bottom of the page, you're going to want to put tags. And to make a tag, it's just like on any other social media program, you use a hashtag. So you go hashtag Soil Food Web. Now with the tags, it does not like spaces in between the words. So if you do want space in between the words, you're going to have to put a dash. So that made the tag Soil Food Web. And then we also want to make a related area. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use this related area to link all the different things about the Soil Food Web together. So for instance, inside the Soil Food Web, there's isopods, right? So to link an isopods page to the Soil Food Web page, we're going to do an exclamation mark and then hit the bracket symbol and then hit the bracket symbol again. This is going to bring up a list of all your previous notes. Now, if you don't have the note that you're trying to link to, you can just name it right here. So we're going to just name isopods. Just like that. And then like another thing that's related to the Soil Food Web is worms. Earthworms, redworms, or all different types of worms are related to the Soil Food Web. So we can make another link called worms. And then like another thing that's related to the Soil Food Web is different bacteria and fungi. So you can do another link like exclamation mark, bracket, bracket, bacteria. There we go. Get the spelling right. And then just for one more, we can do exclamation mark, bracket, bracket, fungi. So these are all topics related to the Soil Food Web. and we've created links to every single one of these. Now, if we hit the preview mode here, it's going to say, hey, we have these related topics, but the note isn't there yet. Do you want to create it? And you can go ahead and say, yeah. And it's going to create a new note saying isopods, and it's already linked to the soil food web. Now, it creates it into the root folder, so I will say you want to drag the isopods back under the soil food web. And then if we go back to this note, you can see we have the soil food web note, some notes about the soil food web, and then the isopods note actually pops up, and you can just go right to the isopods note. So it links everything together quite nicely. So if we go through and create the rest of these notes, and make sure that they're under the soil food web, you can see they're all linked at the bottom here. Now, having the related links and the tags here makes it to where when you open up the graphical view here, you'll see that we have the soil food web, and the soil food web is connected with worms, fungi, bacteria, and isopods. So as you're writing these notes, you can keep writing those related backlinks as well as the tags. And as time goes on, this graph will keep filling out, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I didn't really realize that isopods were related to the fungi, which then were related to the bacteria, because the isopods like eating the fungi and bacteria. You'll start inferring different things that you never knew about, which is an awesome thing about this program. Now, like I'm saying, this is the basic functionality of Obsidian. Now, the only other things I want to mention is that if you want to make like bold text or a heading is a hashtag and then another hashtag. And then you can type in your heading. So if we go ahead and preview that, you'll see bacteria is in bold and it's a heading. If you want to italicize stuff, that's an asterisk. And if you hit preview on that, you can see that that's italicized. Now there's a lot of different ways that you can customize and change the text and make a pretty looking note. If you need help on a lot of the different commands and the different stuff that Obsidian can do, if you go to the bottom left here and click Open Vault, you'll see that at the bottom here there's a Help Vault, and it says Open a Demo and Help Vault. If you click this, it's going to open up an entirely new vault. It won't erase any of the notes that you've done, because this is an entirely different vault, and it will tell you how to get started basically with Obsidian if you wanted to have more control. Basically, it'll tell you all the different how to create notes, how to create internal links, how to use Markdown to format your notes. There's all different ways and things that you can do. As you can see, headers, I did the 2 hashtags and it made a heading 2. 1 hashtag with a space makes a heading 1. Emphasis, you can italicize things with the asterisks, or bold is double asterisks. You can make different lists. Item 1, 2, item 2A, 2B. You can, like I was saying, you can insert images. You can resize those images by changing the number in right here, it's 100 pixels wide, and that's why it changed to a smaller image from this image. It's a good manual right here if you're looking to do something extremely specific. But everything that I've shown you so far will definitely get you going on just taking notes and making, getting your knowledge database started. Because once you start getting this filled out and you have, a bunch of that information in here, it makes it a ton easier to go back and go, oh, I remember that one thing about a certain compost tea or a certain microbiology or a certain whatever it is. You're like, I remember that, but I don't quite remember exactly everything about it. You can go right into your notes. You can hit the search bar and find it pretty easily by just typing in what you're thinking of, or by typing in a tag. So you can, I knew it was with the soil food web, and you click that, and then everything with the soil food web pops up. This is a really powerful note-taking program, especially once you take the time to get your notes in there and get acquainted with the system. Because you'll find yourself pulling this up randomly throughout the day, like, oh, I just thought of this, I'm gonna write this down. Or you'll be researching online and be like, oh, I need to put this in Obsidian so I can always remember it and get back to it. Like I said earlier, there are community plugins for this program, which really extend the feature set in which it can do. And I'll probably be doing a video on a couple of those in the near future. But I want to try to keep this video just to the basics and just to get people start to use the program. Thanks for checking out the video, and we'll see you on the next one.